Hi, everyone. My name is Zach Shapiro, and I am the author of, whoops, We're All in the Same Boat. Yes, by me, illustrated by Jack Davis. This book was published by G.P. Putnam's Sons in 2008. My name is Zach. And it is all about the restless animals on Noah's Ark. I'd like to read it for you now because it's a message that I believe really speaks to all of us in this day and age. Let me pull out the photos so that you can follow along with me. It rained and it rained. It rained so much that Noah had to build an ark to protect all the animals. At first, the animals were excited about their trip. "A few days at sea sounds so thrilling," they said to one another. But the days turned into weeks, and the weeks turned into months, and the animals were getting restless. The ants were antsy, and the bees were bored. The camels were complaining, the dogs were demanding, the elephants were enraged. The foxes were frantic, and the giraffes were grumpy. The hyenas were hysterical. The iguanas were impatient. The jaguars were jittery. The kangaroos were kicking. The llamas were livid. The moose were mouthing off. The nightingales were nagging. The orangutans were obnoxious, like this. The penguins were pacing. The quails were quick-tempered. The rabbits were rowdy. The snakes were squished. The toads were tense. The umbrella birds were unbalanced. Whoop. The voles were vexed. The worms were worried. The oxen were exasperated. The yaks were yelling, "Yak!" And the zebras were zoned out, and they all blamed Noah. And Noah took a deep breath and hollered, "We're all in the same boat!" For the first time, there was silence. And then a funny thing began to happen. The ants apologized and the bees behaved. The camels were cooperative, the dogs were diligent, and the elephants were enthusiastic. The foxes told fables and the giraffes made gifts. The hyenas were still hysterical. The iguanas invited the jaguars to jam. The kangaroos played kickball while the llamas laughed. The moose were merry and the nightingales were neighborly. The orangutans organized their toys. The penguins held a party where the quails quoted rhymes with the rabbits. The snakes stretched. Ugh. The toads were tuckered out. The umbrella birds uprighted themselves. The voles volunteered to keep watch with the worms. The oxen were exhausted. The yaks began to yawn. Oh. The zebras crawled into bed to catch their Z's. And as Noah tucked his animals in for the night, the ark sailed on with the promise of peace. Friends, as we are all kind of stuck sometimes in our arks, in our homes, we have to remember that by cooperating, we can all pull together, because indeed we are in many ways all in the same boat. Let's work together to sail on toward a promise of peace. Take care.